Hi, my name is Julie Hollinger, and I am with the Petawawa Military Family Resource Center, and welcome to another one of our Fireside Chats. We are so excited today to have some guests with us from the Atlas Institute for Veterans and Families. A lot of times when we focus on our Fireside Chats, we talk about programs that are offered by the PMFRC, but this was a really important program that we really thought was important for our community to find out about. So we really wanted to invite our friends from the Atlas Institute to come and join us. With us, we have Tabitha Bainan and Larissa Lamrock. I'm going to let them introduce themselves a little bit later when we talk about Atlas itself. We also have Derek Deruder here, who is our executive director and co-host of the Fireside Chat. Hey, Derek, how are you?
Not too bad, Julie. How are you?
Good. As always, we're going to start with you talking about what's new at the PMFRC. If someone is just joining us or new to our services, maybe these are two or three things that you may want to check out from the PMFRC, and we will put information about all the programs Derek talks about in the comments below, so it'll be nice and easy for you to find them after.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, I'll highlight a couple things, just a few quick ones if I can. One of the big ones we're looking at right now is we're doing recruiting for our board of directors. So we have a couple openings right now for our members at large. So if anyone's interested in joining our board of directors, there's an application process for that. If you're a Canadian Armed Forces family member or community member and you're looking to join a board and get some experience on that, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have or any info. It's going to give you an opportunity to contribute maybe your voice if you've got some leadership experience and maybe other experiences that'll help benefit us here at the PMFRC. We would love to have you. Again, if you're interested in learning more, our main point of contact for that is our volunteer coordinator, Sarah Gunter. I think Julie's going to put her email in the comment section if anybody wants to reach out to her. We're looking to get applications in by November 30th is our deadline for right now. But if you do, again, have any questions, Sarah's your point of contact. You can always reach out to me as well, and I can answer any questions you have. Another program I'll kind of highlight is we're starting back up is our Kids Deployment Support Group, so KDSG. That's back up and running, where we offer sessions at several of our local schools here in the Valley. It's a program that focuses on skills that children can use to deal with challenges related to relocation, deployment, and more. So we're moving into a pretty high deployment season here soon. So that's going to be a popular program for those children. And those children that can join, they're anywhere from junior kindergarten, so JK to grade 6, that are part of a military family and are at one of our participating schools. And again, we'll share some registration details in our comment section. And then the last one I will highlight is maybe our employment services program and our team over there. They do offer resume and cover letter drop-in programs on Tuesdays from 1 to 3. So if you're new to the area or you're looking to freshen up anything in regards to your resume or cover letter, they're held at our Petawawa and our Deep River location offices. And it's a great opportunity to kind of get some feedback and some advice on how to get noticed for that next time you apply for a job. And that's all I'll cover, Julie. Thanks.
We're going to put all of that in the comment section. Just one thing I did want to note for the Kids Deployment Support Group, the child's parent does not need to be currently deployed. So if there is a deployment in the future and you want to work on those skills now's the perfect time to get your kid enrolled in KDSG, get those pieces together. So you don't have to worry. They don't have to be currently deployed. We would love to have them join our groups. Larissa and Tabitha, thank you so much for joining us. Maybe we just sort of step back a little bit first for people who may not have heard about the Atlas Institute for Veterans and Families. Can you tell us what is it you do and what are the types of resources that you provide for veterans and their families?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you for having us. I'm Tabitha Bainan. I'm the lived expertise veteran lead here at Atlas. So basically what that means is I'm the lived experience person. We have a team of 5, both 3 veterans and 2 family members at Atlas that help advise on everything that Atlas does. Atlas is a veteran and family organization that supports in the mental health space. We do not provide services, however, we develop resources and we do research that within the veteran and family space. So one of our big resources that I want to plug today, because it's really relevant to the military community that they could also be using, is our Mind Kit resource. And we'll provide the link below. It is actually separate from our actual website because it is geared directly towards teenagers. 12 to 18, and it talks about mental health, what that is, and it goes on a journey with the boy as he discovers kind of what his father's mental health is, his father's mental health, and how he understands it. And on the website, we actually have resources to help teenagers develop their own mind kit, so that they can develop their own tools and strategies for coping with mental health, either their own or their parents, and help them to better understand mental health. So that's one of the resources that we have. And like I said, it is on a separate website because it is geared directly towards teenagers. On our own website, we have resources on suicide prevention, moral injury, PTSD, kind of what it is, help to understand that, understand peer support around PTSD. We also do research, and we have all of our research studies are accessible through our website. All of the results are also accessible through our website, because everything that we do research, we do publish as well for public access. So right now we are, recruiting women veterans, because what we do at Atlas is we actually get advisory committees of veterans and their families on every project pretty much that we do. And they help us determine what we're actually going to study and what that study is going to look like. And then they also help us develop resources. So we have committees kind of throughout the whole process where they advise us on, and it's all lived experience, and they advise us on what we should be looking at and why we should be looking at it. And then they help, once all the results come in, they help us determine what those results mean and what's important for the community. And then we have advisory committees developing all of the resources. So the resources that we have, we do utilize service providers in order to make sure that they are evidence-based, safe, and obviously very applicable. And lived experience is a huge component of that. And then everything is reviewed and approved by the professionals that make sure that we're giving accurate information to the community. We also actually do some trainings for service providers to help them understand the veteran community, but also to have more service providers trained in specific elements of the veteran community. So we actually provide training for mental health service providers in evidence-based therapies as well. So that's a small component where we do affect kind of the people that are serving the veteran community. So we have a little bit of a service, but it is actually just to better educate those that are serving the veteran and the family community. And everything has a family lens on it as well. So we try to include the family as much as we can in the resources so that they can understand kind of what they are supporting, because as a veteran, without my family, I wouldn't be where I am today. And our team is we are all lived experience, in the sense that all of us have some sort of operational stress related injury, or we are supporting a family member with an operational stress injury. So without our families as veterans, we wouldn't be where we are today, because they deal with the load of the brunt of it. And at Alice, we understand that. So we really want the family to be involved. And the one other thing that I will mention is that we actually also support RCMP. So it is a CAF and RCMP veterans. And we do provide, services across the board for both entities. And sometimes we do CAF specific ones, because there is specific, experiences that RCMP don't. And we also have specific RCMP experiences as well. So we try to, showcase what is the same and very similar about CAF and RCMP veterans, but also what's different. And we bring in, on our advisory committees, we try to have it very well rounded. Larissa, did I miss anything?
No, I think you painted a really great picture. Thanks, Tabitha.
We're going to put the link to your website below. We're also going to put a link to your Facebook page. So if people want to follow you going forward, there's lots of information on the website, but I think going forward, you're always releasing new things. And it's a great way for people to sort of see things that are new as they come through. The other thing I love is the idea of research and resources, because so many people, I find, when you say the word research, they think it's not for them. Like they think it's going to be written at a level that they're not going to be able to understand. But the idea that you take that information and you use the advisory committees and say, what is it that's in here that's relevant for veterans, and how do we package it in a way that it's going to be useful to our audience? I think that's what makes the difference. So it's really worth heading on over there and sort of perusing through and taking a look at some of those things that are there on the website. Larissa, you have a conference coming up in January. Tabitha was talking about the importance of family in all of the things that you do. What's coming up in January is your annual family summit. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is, who should attend, and what are the kinds of topics that maybe people would be able to learn about by attending that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to talk about it. It's a passion project for a lot of us. So I'm Larissa Lamrock, the National Strategic Advisor for Families at Atlas. Again, part of the lived experience team, which means that I support my spouse, who's a veteran who is medically released for PTSD. And I'm proud to say that I'm the mom of a reservist. So that's kind of what we bring to the table. And to talk a little bit about the Family Summit, as an example of what Tabitha was saying and how we move forward with things, a lot of what Atlas wants to do is put practical strategies, tools, resources, information into the hands of veterans and families in a number of different ways. And the summit is one way we do that. So in my previous work, I did peer support, and I got an opportunity to attend all sorts of conferences and listen to speakers and subject matter experts because of my job. I got sent there because of my job. And being the spouse of a veteran, I started coming away from that with my colleague, Polly Mahart. And we were like, wait a minute, like this is helping us with our work, but as family members supporting someone with a mental health injury, this is helping us as family members. And why shouldn't every military and veteran family member across Canada have the same access? We're getting this just because of our job. So we're like, we're going to have a family summit, and we're going to bring this information into the homes of family members across Canada and make it as accessible as possible. So we developed the Veteran Family Summit. This is our third year having it. It's going to happen on January 23rd and 24th this year. It's free, as I mentioned, it's virtual, and we're bringing those subject matter experts to families. So it's open to still serving families, to veteran families, as Tabitha mentioned, RCMP and Canadian Forces. We're conscious of things that both populations might be interested in. And what we're really surprised at seeing and really happy to see in the past couple of years is veterans and still serving members were attending to learn more about the needs of their families. We were excited that service providers, psychologists, physicians were attending because they want to better learn how to support veteran family members. Researchers were attending. And so, although the conference is about veteran families and for veteran families, with topics that kind of really splay across whether you're still serving or not, there's a lot of other communities that want to learn how to better support, understand, validate the experiences that family members have, kind of separate from the person in uniform. So any of those folks, if you fit those categories, I think everybody should attend it. It's a pretty interesting couple of days, and we kick off each day with a keynote speaker. So this year we have Gary Hollander, who served in the RCMP for quite a few decades. He brings a quite a breadth of experience, and he's going to be talking about his observations as a uniform member on what his family provided to him and what maybe he should be providing to them now that he's retired. We're excited to have Jennifer Eyre come and speak to us about her experience as a military spouse over a number of times supporting her husband in his career. So we're going to kick off each day with one of those speakers. And then we're bringing those subject matter experts to talk about sleep this year and how sleep is interrelated with mental health. And again, we want to focus on some practical strategies. We're going to be talking about the experiences of adult children who grew up with a military parent. I would be included in that. My dad served in the military. And how does that shape who they become, and maybe their career path and their relationships? And we're going to be exploring that a little bit. We're pretty happy to be talking about the experiences of parents who are supporting a veteran with a mental health injury. So kind of on the other side of that, because we know that there's not a lot of resources and information that's specific to parents. We're going to be talking about moral injury. We're going to be talking about a whole host of other things, and happy that we'll be providing those things both in English and French. We'll have simultaneous translation available. We have a couple of concurrent French sessions happening. So lots of really great stuff over those couple of days. What I want to share is that, yeah, it might be a lot to sit in front of your screen for 2 days, but it is pretty compelling, I think, and you'll have opportunity to ask those speakers questions in real time. If that's not feasible, once you register for the summit, you will have access to recordings for 3 months after the fact. So you can go back. The virtual venue is pretty cool. We have some gamification happening. People can win some prizes from veteran and veteran family owned businesses, which we're really proud to support. So lots of cool stuff. And so I'm hoping people, not right now, but as soon as this is done, are going to jump onto the links that we'll provide for them to register.
I love the idea of like there's such broad topics like sleep and being the adult child in the military, and sometimes we wait when we see the word veteran, we wait until that your spouse is released. But really, the time to start having those conversations is early on, so you're ready, so you've had those conversations, and so what's heading you when you're moving into sort of like stepping to post-service life. So I love that you sort of talked about the fact that you don't have to be a veteran or the family of a veteran. You can be a family member of a serving member, and that information is still really relevant to you. Derek, I know a lot of people who've been dealing with MFRCs for many, many years think of us as the Military Family Resource Center. And a lot of people may not necessarily be aware that we also provide services to veterans and veteran families. Can you talk a little bit about some of the programs specifically for veterans and veterans of families that maybe people hadn't necessarily thought of?
Yeah, you're right, Julie. I think a lot of people think, right, once I'm out of the military or once I'm done, then the Military Family Resource Center is no longer for me, right? But we changed that a little while ago with the help from Veterans Affairs Canada, as we had a new role come in, which is called a veteran family programmer. So we have a veteran family program coordinator here. If you haven't met her, Louise Anderson at our location, right? So she's kind of the point person that runs that program. And really, what it is it's basically just saying that the services we have as an MFRC, they're available to our veteran families as well, right? And Louise is there to help guide it. So that family programmer is there to help guide you through that and work through that transition, right? It's, we offer support programs. We offer our mental health first aid program is an example of a few things she offers, right? And access to all those services, right? So I think rather than go through step-by-step services, I think always for someone who's maybe in that world and looking at transitioning or looking at that, first point of contact should be Louise, our veteran family programmer, right? Reach out to Louise. She can explain, yeah, and Julie's going to share the information, contact information for Louise, and let her kind of get an idea of what you need and where you're going, and she can help direct you not only to our services, but services in the community that may be available and different supports that are out there, which is key because not everybody knows everything that's out there, right? There's a lot of information, and that's kind of what Louise does is she gathers all that and makes sure she can share it and determine what you need, right? So, like we always say, and I think we probably say in every single one of these chats, Julie, is if you don't have the contact for Louise or you don't know where to go, just give us a call. No door is the wrong door here, right? We will get you where you need to go and get you to the person you need to speak to.
Thank you. I find I also go to a lot of conferences. Larissa, you were talking about the fact that you get this information. And one of the things that I've always realized is once you start poking around, you realize you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes, you feel like you're in good shape, and then, you sit down and there's all sorts of topics that are so interesting. And often families don't necessarily get the information they need, get the services they need, don't get the resources they need because they didn't know they existed. Um, if someone wants to find out more about Atlas, if they want to find out more about the Family Summit, how would they go about doing that? And is there anything else that you didn't mention about the Atlas Institute that you think people should know? If they take away one thing, what is it that you think that they should know?
Ooh, I love that question, and I know we're getting short on time. Google is the best place. If people are looking for information, again, maybe reach out to you folks if they kind of forgot the name or whatever. They have a relationship with you. I'm hoping that you'll connect them back. If not, Atlas Institute for Veterans and Families. I'm sure it'll pop up pretty early. You could probably put in Veteran Family Summit. And
Yeah.
I would encourage people to kind of sniff around the Atlas website. We do provide so many resources on a breadth of things that's really hard to I haven't quite got the elevator pitch yet on how to talk about everything that we do. So I really encourage people to have a look around the website. I guess the one thing that I would want people to know about Atlas Institute is kind of what Tabitha alluded to at the beginning. I've kind of worked in military veteran mental health for a long time, really. I started back in the day at an MFRC as a deployment coordinator. I've done some peer support over the time. and brought a lot of that experience with me. One of the things I love about Atlas is that lived experience is embedded throughout everything, as Tabitha said. So even the Family Summit, we asked the community through some of your veteran family program coordinators, as a matter of fact, what are you hearing from the community? What do they want to learn about? What resources are missing for them? And we take that back. And as Tabitha said, folks right along with us, helping advise along each step of the way. And as a matter of fact, if people want to get involved with Atlas as part of our cadre, there's a place to do that too, and they can kind of pay it forward in the community. So, you know, as an example for myself, there weren't a lot of resources available for my kids back in the day on how to talk to their dad about PTSD. Well, then I get to participate at Atlas and make those resources for the next generation. I hate to say that, but the next generation of people behind me
We try
who will
not to
live in
sort
that.
of mention years or
That's
number
right.
of years and
Yeah.
sort of we don't put dates on things.
There we go. Great. So yeah, thanks for asking.
Thank you both so much for joining us. I think this is such a great opportunity for people to at least get the overall lay of the land, to be able to talk and listen to the latest research, because everything is changing all the time. There's so much great new information that's there, and sometimes it's hard to know where to start. So this is a great place to start. We're going to have the website below. We're going to have the Facebook below, all the information you need. So if you want to get a hold of Atlas, we're definitely can help you do that. Also, if you're not necessarily sure, contact Louise. Louise can help put you in contact with the right folks. All that information will be there. Thank you so much, Larissa and Tabitha. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Derek, as always, thank you for joining us. If you need to get a hold of the PMFRC, if there's something that you heard about, you're not necessarily sure, like Derek said, no door is the wrong door. Please give us a call. Even if you talk to somebody else, we will point you in the right direction and make sure that you get the information and the services that you need to support you and your family. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.